Good afternoon, El Segundo. It's Mayor Drew Boyles on June 1st with an update, an important one. We understand that many of you are concerned and disheartened about the series of violent protests that have occurred in LA County and the nation to collectively grieve the death of George Floyd in Minnesota. I stand with you and support the right to protest peacefully. But I also remind you that acts of violence and destruction of property are not condoned in El Segundo or anywhere. In fact, Councilmember Perstuck and I were both down yesterday afternoon to witness a nice, peaceful protest that transpired on Main and Imperial. On yesterday, we had more than 100 individuals gathered at that place, and I want to thank you for keeping the peace, and also want to thank our police officers for being out there to ensure everyone's safety. We must remember that COVID-19 is still among us, and that the proper social distancing and face covering guidance still applies when we're out in public. The County of LA proclaimed a state of emergency on Saturday in response to the growing protests across the region. In an effort to ensure that El Segundo remains safe, on Sunday a local state of emergency was proclaimed and a curfew within the city was issued from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. until further notice. And I'd like to ask Chief Bill Whalen, who's doing a great job leading our police force, to join us to provide more details. Chief?
Well, thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, El Segundo. I want to start by reminding you and putting an exclamation point on what the Mayor said, that tonight we will have a curfew in place from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. We are doing this out of an abundance of caution. But it's an important tool right now that we use this to make sure that we're keeping you safe, and we do ask that you please abide by this curfew. We also ask that you regularly check our social media sites and our city website, as we will post changes to this situation on our website when the curfew gets listed. So thank you for that. A little bit about our police department. We have maximized our patrol deployment. We have taken people who are not currently assigned to patrol and put them in the field so that we maintain a very high visibility out there, again, in an effort to keep you safe. We are in very close communication with all of the other South Bay cities. So when something happens to one city, we are immediately talking back and forth. That way, not only are we making sure we're keeping us safe, but it's also about our region and the South Bay as well. So I want to make sure that you hear that from me and assure you of that fact. And as always, if you see anything suspicious, or any crimes in progress, please call 911. We have personnel in place. We will come out and investigate that. And as the Mayor said, the El Segundo Police Department has a long history of supporting your constitutional rights to peacefully assemble. And what happened yesterday, El Segundo, I couldn't be more proud as I witnessed that, to see everybody gather together peacefully and express their ideas. But I think what's important, and I know the Mayor said it and you've heard others say it, is we just absolutely cannot condone the illegal and hurtful behavior that we see occurring not only across this country, but right here in Los Angeles. We are doing nothing to honor the memory of George Floyd, and more importantly, we're doing nothing to further the discourse on police-community relations. And so I appreciate you hearing me out on that message, and I know that you will continue to do the right thing. Like all of you, I am extremely saddened by and disturbed by the death of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department. And I struggle to make sense of what I saw in that video. And since this event unfolded about a week ago, I've heard from many of you. And I know there is genuine fear out there amongst some of you in regards to what happened. And I want you to hear from me that the El Segundo Police Department fosters a culture of inclusivity and bias-free policing. We absolutely believe in the sanctity of all human life, and that permeates throughout the training that we do. We use only that force which is necessary to do our job, and we practice de-escalation on a regular basis. We won't tolerate anyone in our ranks who doesn't subscribe to that philosophy. I'm very, very proud of your police officers and their commitment to this community. In fact, when we went to this enhanced deployment yesterday, we had officers cancel vacation plans, come in from throughout Southern California and the southwestern United States, in fact, because they recognize their commitment and their oath to you, and they wanted to be here. And I was so proud when I saw them gather last night and this morning, and rest assured, we will all be here until this situation is over. If at any time you want to discuss this incident with me, my information is on our website. I ask you to reach out to me via email or call me. I'm more than happy to talk about this with you. Again, thank you for your cooperation, El Segundo. Please be safe. We will be through this shortly. Mayor?
Thank you, Chief Whalen. We are so fortunate to have Chief leading this incredible police department. And again, witnessing what I saw with the peaceful protest and the way that our police department handled themselves yesterday, I couldn't be prouder. So thank you, Chief. Now on to COVID-19. I want to just say that we are at 35 confirmed cases in El Segundo, which is up 1 from the prior day. We still are at 0 deaths. We have 3 adjusted cases. That's the number that Chief Donovan of the fire department came up with last week, which is an indication of active cases. On Friday, the LA County Department of Public Health revised the health officer order allowing for restaurants, hair salons, and barber shops to reopen with additional safety provisions required. We're quite pleased to see that they went to 60% dining capacity, and our city is working really hard with all of the business owners in town. The city amended its administrative order number 1 to allow restaurants to reopen. Expansion of dining and retail is being enabled right now. The city continues to work to help local businesses safely reopen. In fact, I just saw Chief Whalen along with our city manager, our deputy city manager Barbara Voss, our head of planning and safety, our head of Rexham Park, all out canvassing downtown and working and meeting with the restaurants and retailers just today to help them with their reopening and their expanded capacity. The city created an application to this end to solicit feedback from restaurants and retailers in El Segundo on how they would propose to add additional capacity through outdoor dining and retail space on a temporary basis. And everything's being considered. I even saw tables already up in front of Metro Cafe. I was really pleased to see us move that quickly to allow Sasha at Metro Cafe that additional dining capacity. I know we'll be working really hard with the rest of the businesses in town. So far, the city has received over 35 applications from restaurants wishing to add additional dining outdoors. That's great news. And the city's planning and public works department are working to review applications as quickly as possible, even issuing permits over last weekend to facilitate the reopening process. One of the things we're actually asking staff to do is to measure how quickly our businesses get open once they're allowed to get open, and how many of them are actually open as an indication of our ability to help them through this transition. The deadline to submit applications has been extended until further notice, so please get your application in. A link to submit an application is available on the city's website, and I've been assured, although I haven't seen it, it's a very simple application, and I also ask you to lay out, provide a little sketch of the layout that you propose. The city manager has been directed to expedite the permit process for those restaurants seeking outside dining. Starting today, the El Segundo Public Library is partially open for curbside pickup and return of library materials through the Library to Go initiative. That's great, piggybacking on Gundo to Go with the restaurants, I'm sure. You can stop by Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the main library located at 111 West Mariposa Avenue. There will be a virtual city council meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. And you can watch online via the city's website, elsegundo.org, or local cable, or El Segundo's YouTube channel, El Segundo TV. Thank you very much, El Segundo. We will get through these challenging times together. Our commitment to you is to provide you with accurate and timely information as soon as it becomes available. Please visit the city's website and Facebook page for updates. Stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.